the harsh reality of living with fibromyalgia, a chronic pain condition. Okay guys, so from the get-go, I am not going to apologize for this video being downbeat, not being optimistic. I know I'm going to get people saying you should be more positive. I am a positive person, a very positive person. However, this video is not intended to be positive. This video is the harsh reality of somebody like myself who lives with fibromyalgia, a chronic pain condition. Okay guys, so I want to tell you how this affects people living with fibromyalgia. If you are that person, then you will obviously know. But if you are a person who lives with or lives close to or are close to, or a family member, a loved one, whoever who has fibromyalgia, then this is probably the best person I want this to reach out to, so it can just explain slightly what we deal with having fibromyalgia on a daily basis and what it affects in our life. Guys, from the get-go, it affects every single aspect and part of your life. Every single part of your life, because it is a daily occurrence. Living with fibromyalgia is daily. So we have high pain days and lower pain days. Guys, the second part of that sentence is very important. Lower pain days. There is no pain days. So there isn't a day that goes by where we ain't in pain. It will be a lower pain day or a higher pain day, what we call a flare-up, which can take it past that extreme, to be 100% honest with you. But let's just go with higher pain days and lower pain days. And guys, them days can come on so quick. They can change within the hour, they can change within the minute. We just don't know what sets us off and when they're going to set us off. There's no planning ahead, which is a massive part of why it affects us and every part of our life, because there is just no planning. It's really hard to knuckle down a date with someone, commit to something, knowing that there is probably a high possibility that you're going to have to cancel because of a fibro flare-up, or not feeling well or right that day, with the vast amount of symptoms that come with it. Okay guys, so when I say it affects every aspect of your life or their life, it affects work life, it affects love life, it affects marital life, it affects parental life if you're a parent, massively. It affects gym life. It affects every single part of your life, social life, so on and so forth, etc. Might sound a bit draining, this video guys, but this is the harsh reality. I'm trying to get it across as best and as articulately as I possibly can. So first off, work life. I am lucky enough, well, not lucky enough, I've worked hard to get to this position. I work for myself. By no means, guys, can I stop working and be okay. Nowhere near that level. I'm not near that level until pension age. I'll probably be working past pension age. But luckily enough, or well done to me, I have built my own business. It's not a huge business, but I work for myself, and I can pick and choose the jobs I want to do to a certain extent, and I can also go in on the days that I want to a certain extent. What I mean by this is that if I know that a job's going to be way too laborious for me, I can either sublet it out or I just won't be able to do it. And if I do a job and I have a flare up, then I can say to my customer, I'm not going to be in today because I'm under the weather. But that's not something you want to do, because I'm trying to withhold a good reputation within my business. I never like to let anyone down. So I can't really do it, but I can do it. Nobody's gonna sack me, if that makes any sense. So I really feel for the people who have a 9-to-5 or is employed by someone, because I don't know how that would have manifested for my life over the years. Having fibromyalgia, I wouldn't have been able to hold down a job. I'll be 100% honest with you. I would have found it extremely difficult. And the thing is as well, because of it's not even just a lack of ill education, but I really sometimes do feel for the employer. So if there is a person like me who works for themselves and I employ one person, so I'm just trying to build my company, and I don't know that person has a chronic pain condition and they keep taking days off, that's not really going to work for me. It definitely wouldn't work for me, because I would need somebody to depend on as I've got fibromyalgia. But that wouldn't really work for said boss, because there's going to be days where it's going to be sprung upon them where that person is not going to come into work. So then on the flip side, do you go, as a person with fibromyalgia or chronic pain condition, go into the interview and say, by the way, just to let you know, I have a chronic pain condition, this chronic pain condition, sometimes a lot more than sometimes, there's going to be days where I'm just going to spring it on you in the morning and say, I'm not coming in for work today, boss. And you're just not going to get the job. So it is a very, 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 very difficult, and you guys can see how that would affect your work life. And then onto something as simple, you could say simple, but not so simple, would be social life. So like I touched on earlier, there's going to be multiple occasions where you cancel on one of your social gatherings, and there is a lot of people who tell me that they have lost friends because their friends just stop calling them. I don't want to go into whether you should still be friends with that person, because they don't understand, but you guys get that what happens is you dedicate a day to go into somebody, let's say a wedding, you're supposed to go to a wedding and you don't turn up, and then the month after is somebody's birthday and you don't turn up, and then you're supposed to go out for drinks with work colleagues and you don't turn up, but then your work colleague or your cousin who is getting married may see you on social media having fun bowling with your children, and say, oh well, they can't be that ill because they was bowling that day and they was having fun on quad bikes on holiday that day, but they couldn't come out and meet us in the pub for a pizza, or they couldn't come to my wedding. But like I said earlier, guys, you can't pick and choose when you're going to have a high pain day, a flare up. So that is social life, guys. Social life and home life. So I would say my most difficult being a parent is definitely home life. Work life is a huge stress for me, obviously, because I have to provide. I want to provide. I want to give the kids the best life possible and leave them something when I go, my wife and my kids. But home life is definitely tricky for me. There are days where if I have to go to work, I know that day has to be done because there's 4 or 5 days of raining, so I have to get that job done before the rain comes in, and I push myself. I can be in bits for up to a week, and I mean in bits, guys. Like, everything affects me. The sounds, shouting sounds louder, little noises, creaks, smells. I get very easily irritated, not angry, but just irritated. It's like a bear with a sore head. And on them days, I have to kind of seclude myself from the family, which sounds horrible. And guys, I am a family man. I love my family more than anything. My kids and my wife are my world, guys. If you have seen my socials or you know me personally, you know how much I love my family. I love my home. I love my wife and my kids. It doesn't need to be said. But on them days, I can find myself secluding myself in my room in darkness just to get away from it all. And this happened to me the other day. It was the worst pain I've had for a long time, and I could not get rid of it. I took some medication, and it done nothing for me. And the kids, being kids, kept coming in to check on me, and I just weren't interacting. I was just like, please, can you just close the door? And and it's then starts to become part of your mental health, not because I've locked myself in a room and I'm just in the dark on my own and not being positive, because them things I can see where they'd get to other people, but they don't get to me in that way. But because I feel as though I'm letting my family down. I should be with my family when I'm at home. I should be present, and I'm at work enough. I don't go out socially, but I'm at work enough, and when I come home I should be present with the family, and I feel as though I'm not in them situations. Although I'm there, I'm not there. And just can play a massive toll on my mind whether I'm being enough for my family, because the kids don't really understand it. My wife's amazing. She understands it, but she doesn't know what you would never know unless you go through it. So that's a massive aspect of my life that it affects. So work life, social life, home life, then it pushes on to marital life, where there are days where I'm at home and I haven't been able to go to work, and I feel as though I need to, although my wife is a real homebody, and we've got that real old kind of old-fashioned kind of, I don't know if to call it old-fashioned or not, partnership where I'm out grafting and she's always just a homebody. She's got the food ready and cleans the house. She actually loves cleaning the house. Sometimes annoys me how much she cleans the house, but on them days I still feel like I need to do something. So them days that I'm at home, in my mind, if I'm sitting there and I'm not doing nothing for 2 hours, I feel like I need to get up and hoover or help, or ask, does she need help with something? Because I feel like I don't want to be a burden. Although I know I'm not being, in my mind, it plays tricks with me, and I feel like I'm being that burden. Although I've gone to work for 4 days straight, and then one of these days I can't go to work, I still feel like, am I being looked at as the lazy? He's so lazy. You know what I mean? But I know it's not. But it's just a mind game. So just bear in mind, guys, that that's somebody who's got fibromyalgia or chronic pain condition, could be feeling like this, which takes you into mental health. A lot of people suffer very, very badly with mental health. I would never say that I've been depressed with it, but that aspect of my life has definitely hit me harder in the last few years. Mental health, anxiety, low moods, questioning myself, and always in that kind of dark space of like, am I ever going to get better? Is there ever going to be a time where I don't feel like this, which can drive you mad as well. That's another aspect of your life, guys. So if I haven't painted a picture already as to how it affects our everyday life, then I don't think you would ever grasp how it affects somebody, down to even the minute things, like what people might not think is a minor thing, but like training. I used to go to the gym. I've been going to the gym for maybe 17, 18 years now, and I used to train every single day. I used to be much bigger. A lot of people look at me on my socials, when I've got a t-shirt on or my top off, say, how can you train with fibromyalgia? But I used to train a lot more, which then affects my mental health, because I used to be able to train a lot more, and now I can't. So it's literally relentless, guys. It is an every day, every minute. It just consumes you. And like I said at the beginning of this video, guys, I do not want you to take away from this that this guy is just so fixated on things not getting better, because I actually have an amazing life. I actually have a lovely life. I'm not rich. I'm not from wealthy background. I grew up on a council estate, but I've just made a good life for me and my family. Some people wouldn't consider it a good life. Like I say, I'm not rich, but it's a life that I love, with a family that I love, and that's all I ever wanted in life, was a family, a wife and kids, and I got it, and beautiful they are. So I'm not a dreary person who just dwells on the fact that I have this, but I do have this, and it does consume the whole of your life. Guys, that is all I can really think of. It was all in one take. I just wanted to be raw about it and let you guys know what it feels like. Obviously, if you have it, you know what it feels like. But I would like to end the video here and say that if you do know somebody who has it, just take into a little bit of consideration what I've said. Hopefully it opens your mind a little bit more as to what they're going through, and try and figure out ways in which you can help their day that little bit easier. Guys, I hope you have a low pain day and your fibro flare-ups are at bay.